Sometimes love just doesn't leave memories. It leaves echoes. It's been 11 months since my son Logan passed away, but sometimes I still hear his laughter. Not a faint memory, not a recording, a living, breathing sound that wraps around my heart and stops me in my tracks. Am I just imagining it? Or is something far more profound at play? The first time it happened, I was home alone. The house was quiet, the heavy kind of quiet that grief brings. And then I heard him, Logan's laugh. That same deep, joyful sound that used to fill my kitchen, rolling in like sunlight after a storm. For a moment, I froze. I looked around, almost expecting him to walk into the room. And then I just stood there, letting the sound wrap around me like a warm blanket. It was over in seconds, but the peace it left in my heart stayed for days. After I shared my story, I started hearing from people who had lost someone and experienced something unexplainable. A familiar scent in a place it shouldn't be. A song playing at just the right moment. A touch on the shoulder when no one else was there. Or a laugh so real they had to check the room to see if that person was there. These moments bring comfort, yeah, but they also bring questions. Now, science has a name for this. Some call it auditory hallucination or grief brain. They say it's the mind replaying memories that help us cope. And maybe sometimes that's true, but here's the thing. This wasn't fuzzy or half remembered. It wasn't me trying to recall what his laughter sounded like. It was clear, it was present, and it was Logan. So while I respect what science says, I also know there's more to this world than we can measure in a lab. I believe these moments are God's way of saying, I'm still here. Logan is still here. And love has never left you. They don't erase the pain, but they whisper hope into it. They remind me that the bond we share isn't broken by the grave. One day, I heard his laughter during a week. I was barely holding on. I was exhausted and heavy with missing him. And then, just for a moment, his joy came spilling back into my world, and I felt God's presence in it. Now, maybe you've had a moment like this. A laugh, a smell, a song, a sign that made you stop and wonder. Was it just a trick of the mind? Or was it something more? I'd love for you to share your story in the comments. Not everyone will understand, but here in this space, we honor those moments. Because some connections, they're so deep, not even death can silence them. Scripture says, my sheep listen to my voice. I know them and they follow me. John 10:27. I'm Angela Frazier, walking through this valley with sacred footprints beside me. The one I lost walks with me still, and the God who held me in the fire still holds me now. If you're in those first raw days of grief, know this: you're not alone. Heaven sees you, and love still speaks. Comment "me too" or share your story below. And you can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Get your free devotional journal, Beauty in the Valley, inspired by Logan's journey home. With love always, Angela and Logan.